I saw, on June 26th, because we wanted to occupy State House on June 27th, there is this tweet. It's called Giddy Karaoke. Giddy Karaoke was one of the people who said, occupying State House does not sit well with me. Or Hanifa there was also saying, I don't feel people don't go to State House. It's a protected area. There is every building, every government building is a protected area. If you didn't know, now you know. Every government building is a protected area. You guys breached Nyayo House. You guys breached all other. You breached even the Supreme Court, which is a protected area. Who is this telling you not to go to another protected area? Is that protection more than the protection of these other places? No. But they were doing it because they're on the payroll of the government, Hanifa and Giddy Karaoke. And then later they change. And then they come say, I'm sorry, I did that. I'm a full government clique and you're supposed to be onboarded. How stupid are you? I told you, you guys are very shrewd when you're dealing with your personal lives, when you're dealing with relationships, husbands, wives. If somebody cheats, if somebody does anything, you're so shrewd to drop them off. But petitions, you seem to cut them a lot of slack. State-sponsored propagandists, you seem to cut them a lot of slack. They can do all the rubbish and dumb shit that they want. They can do all the garbage that they want. And then you still give them a second chance and a third chance. Why haven't you given your ex-boyfriend or your ex-girlfriend a second chance or a third chance? Because you're acutely aware. Because you know the threats and the problems that will come if you do it. So why don't you extend the same courtesy to these lunatics, to these state-sponsored hoodlums? Why? Because you're desensitized, because you've been dumbed down, because you've grown up breastfeeding on government propaganda. You used to watch news, you watch the media. You don't know that all of them are state-owned enterprises masquerading as private outfits. We speak every morning. We are trying to liberate you. We are trying to tell you these are the accessories of your oppression. They are glamorous. For instance, on paper, Kenya looks very glamorous. It looks like a booming economy because of all the numbers that they bandy around. But we all know we are in a one state. We all know that police can abduct and kill without any element of oversight, without any backlash, without any retribution. We all know we are living in fear. You wouldn't live in fear like that if we are in a functional democracy. So everything that you are consuming has been a lie. Everyone that you've been following has been compromised. So if you are acutely aware of such threats, why then would you continue consuming the same garbage? Why would you then continue following the same characters that we have flagged? Literally, Okiya Omtata was with Quebec Bull the day before he was abducted. No, the day he was abducted. Literally a few minutes. Why don't you want to ask him those questions? I have gone to his timelines. Nobody wants to see him to be bold enough to ask him those questions. You all want to sweep it under the carpet and pretend it didn't happen. You all want us to unsee. I told you when the evidence is glaring, I will not unsee myself. I will not unsee. And so tomorrow we have the glorious opportunity to recalibrate our political landscape. We have the beautiful opportunity to finish the job that our freedom fighters began. But we cannot do it while you are still captured by these characters. We cannot do it while you are still following these clowns. And so I'm making a passionate appeal to the media, to the journalists, to the bloggers, Motembei TV. I am making a passionate appeal to you. Why must you give coverage to the commercial activists? Why? What more new do they have to say? Other than singing those shitty songs. Hey, you've been mapambanoing for the last 20 years. Has it gotten us anywhere? No. Can't we try a new strategy? Can't we try a new strategy? It starts with you. If you're a blogger, exercise some element of integrity. If you're a journalist, you don't have to go and cover these commercial attention-seeking harlots masquerading as activists. Because we've had enough of their bullshit. We have extended a lot of grace to them. Can they reciprocate? Can they now say, now it's no longer about me as Nifa, it's no longer about me as Boniface Mwangi, as Morara Kebaso? Can I now reciprocate the grace that Kenyans have extended to me over the years and just step aside and let nature take its course and let the real people, the real deserving victims get the limelight that I am hogging, that I am stealing? Would you be gracious and honorable enough? But we know you people, you're not gracious, you're not honorable, you have no iota of respectability in you. You're opportunists. You can throw anyone under the bus, you can sell anyone out for as long as it will give you money. For as long as you will make a coin. That's why Okia Mtata, for money, he sold out young Kibet Bull. Let this be a warning to you people. Let this be a warning to you characters about these people who walk the moral high ground. Let you know that you cannot trust anyone. That the snakes can camouflage in your environment. For the amount of noise and protest that we've done so far, and for government to have not released these boys, it is time now we start dealing with the reality that something bad could have actually happened. Something bad has actually happened because these people are just escalating their rhetoric. But we can feel from their rhetoric that it's fear. We can feel that when Oscar Sudi was speaking, it was not bravery. It was not chest thumping. It was fear. I could feel the fear in his mouth. I could see as Amason Kingi and Waluke were trying to coin words, I could feel the fear in their mouths. Because number one, they could not get the unison consensus that they were seeking from the crowds, because they were trying to get the crowds to clap and to celebrate and to stand up and to cheer at them, but they could feel that it's only a small cluster of paid goons who are celebrating and dancing to their tune. So more, as they escalated their voice, it wasn't from confidence or bravery, it was more from fear. That what if the worst comes to the worst? What if the people come down and occupy parliament, and occupy state house? What if they bring down this regime? I must escalate my voice. But your voice betrayed you, because what we saw was fear masked as bravery. You can see none of you is laughing, none of you is having a good time. We can see your numbers are shrinking. The people who follow Ruto around, previously he would go with his entire parliamentary sycophants, retinue of sycophants. Now he's just going with a handful because he can feel the isolation. And we know a cornered cat is most dangerous, and so you're trying to ooze this arrogance, you're trying to ooze this bravery, but in essence you're scared as shit. In essence, William Ruto, you don't know where you're going to hide to. You don't know where you're going to exile to. You've burnt all your bridges. So you are unaware you cannot go to Russia because you burnt your bridge with them on behalf of Meg Whitman. Meg Whitman has been removed as a US ambassador. So you're wondering, where will I go to? You are scared shitless, William Ruto. You are scared, you're trembling. You can feel that the police are slowly not following your orders. You can see their numbers shrinking. When you call them to go and suppress protesters, you can see they are being subdued by the people. Because they are no longer following your orders, because even those who followed the orders in June, some of them have not been paid to date. Even after killing fellow citizens, they've not been paid to date. You can feel that KDF is not following your orders. Even when you gave them orders, that time it was only a few platoons populated by members of your ethnic community who followed. You can feel you're being isolated, William Ruto. And this is what happens. This is what happens during the last days of a dictatorship. It's almost like the first stage of mourning is grief now. You're in denial. And so you're trying to push back. You're trying to pretend that you're the man, that you're the shit, but you're not the shit. You can feel that no Muzungus every other time. There used to be a Muzungu coming to your state house every week. From different countries, from different organizations just coming to meet you. You can feel you haven't met a Muzungu within the last 3 weeks. So even your international profile has diminished. You lack international support. You can see that the US ambassador has sent you 2 memos. You can see that the AU have condemned the abductions. You can see that the EU ambassador condemned the abductions. You can feel yourself being globally isolated. So the question is, William Ruto, when the revolution finally comes, where are you going to hide? Where are you going to disappear to? Where are you going to flee to? You can feel that the churches who used to dance to your tune, you can feel that the religious leaders no longer want your shit. You can see even the other ones who came to State House, we shared their numbers, Mark Karaoke and your fellow degenerate evangelical bastards. That even after then, now they are scared. You've been trying to call them again, and they've refused to come to State House because they know they don't want to face the wrath of Kenyans. So they have recalibrated their priorities. They are no longer an extension of your lunacy, of your mental impotence, of your depravity. They are now standing with the people because they know meeting Ruto again will condemn them to the annals of history. So William Ruto, you're becoming isolated. We can feel by the desperation every day you're appearing on TV, trying to talk, sending your sycophants. But you're not doing it from a confident position. You're not doing it from a position of winning. You're doing it from a position of fear. Fear of the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know where you're going to run to. You don't know whether you're going to stay in the country. You are given the option of resigning so that you can have it easy. You can live in our country. You can stay here. The option has been floated to you severally. Resign. We have also floated the option of the members of parliament to convene an emergency meeting so that you impeach the president as an act of self-preservation to yourselves. But you have refused. You continue just sitting on the fence instead of impeaching this guy. You can see he's losing it. You can see he's going crazy. You can see now killing abductees. This is where once you corner a cat, it becomes very dangerous. That's the point where William Ruto is. And instead of you people rising to the occasion and doing what's required of you for your own self-preservation, you opt to stand by the fence. William Ruto is cornered. He's isolated. He's scared. All the threats. He wouldn't need to be meeting out these threats, to be unleashing this wave of terror if he was a confident person. If he was confident in his position, in his legitimacy, they wouldn't need to be doing these daily charades on the media. But he's doing it because he's cornered. He's doing it because he can feel. During New Year's, for the first time, instead of people saying Happy New Year, they were saying Ruto must go. He's not sleeping right now, let me tell you. He's not having a peaceful period right now. He's not been in Nairobi for the last 3 weeks. Why is he hiding from Nairobi? Because he knows. He knows. He's scared. He's trembling. His goons have been unmasked. His security agents have been exposed. More and more are coming on this side and not following his disgraceful orders. More and more know their fate has been sealed. Like the policemen who abducted and killed the 2 Indians and the national and their drivers during the Uhuru era. Those policemen are still in jail 2 years without their court case moving forward. William Ruto knows. The security agencies know, and that's why they are no longer following his orders blindly. It's only small platoons of his sycophants, people from his ethnic community. People who are related to him, they are the ones who are following the orders. That's why I'm telling you tomorrow, go with full confidence. Tomorrow, move with purpose. This system is crumbling down. Tomorrow, we are calling on the techies. Last week, I got a message from one of you saying you had brought down E-Citizen. Tomorrow, we are calling on you to do even more. Everyone has a purpose. Everyone has a skill that can be directed to the cause. Nobody has said they try and make it, create the illusion and to craft the lie that only the street people are important. No, everyone, even the intellectuals, even the people sending letters, even the people who are signing up on the ICC website, uploading evidence of war crimes, even the people who are tagging the Center for International Enterprise, CIPE in Washington. Their Twitter handle had shared it. Those are the guys who filed Kenya's case last time. Those who are tagging them with evidence of William Ruto's war crimes. Every little counts. Every effort is welcome. So please, do not fear. They are reacting to us. Every day they are talking about social media. Every day they are talking about how they are going to suppress social media. Every day they are talking about how they are going to deal with bloggers, how they are going to kill us. They are not even hiding anymore. Sudi wasn't hiding it today. So they are reacting. Now, do those look like people who are in the steering wheel? If they are reacting to our stimuli, do they look like people who are steering? No, we are the ones in the steering wheel. We are the ones who are guiding how the country and shaping the conversations. And they don't like that. That's why they are feeling threatened. That's why they are feeling isolated. That's why they are feeling like their time is up. Their time is almost expiring. And knowing that, do not buy their fear. They are reacting. We are not reacting to their bullshit. They are reacting to us. So what do you do in that state of affairs? You continue injecting. The women of Kenya, Wairimo Mokoro, ni Momokoro on TikTok has called on you to get out tomorrow so that you can weep and wail and mourn for the departed souls because you didn't do it in June. You did not do it in June because everyone thought that it was going to be business as usual. Everyone thought that this man is going to reform. Everyone thought that William Ruto has promised that he's going to change, that he's going to do things differently, but William Ruto has never been about that life. William Ruto has never been about change. William Ruto is a murderer. He's a war criminal. That is his DNA. He's never going to change. So the women, you have to come first of all tomorrow and offer your prayers because you did not offer them in June. For the kids who died, women, those are your children. Wairimo Mokoro is doing a good job on TikTok, mobilizing women and asking you tomorrow, get out there. You're not necessarily going out for Ruto must go. You're going there to meet, to talk to the ancestors because you have not offered your prayers. You have not offered. You did not scream. You did not shout. You did not cry. And that is a customary tradition. Even before we were brought for this colonial religion, that is what women used to do. So you did not do it in June. Now is the time to right your wrongs. Women, you're powerful more than you imagine. We told you a few women are the ones who stripped naked at Uhuru Park and stopped it from being grabbed by Daniel Arap Moi. One solitary woman called Wangare Maathai stopped the grabbing of Karura Forest. You guys love that place. You love going jogging there. That if women, you come out tomorrow in one piece, we are going to win. We are going to have a victory. Women of Kenya, we call upon you. Women of Kenya, mothers of Kenya. Mothers of Kenya are between all age groups, all ranges between 20s and 50s. We call on you. We call on you to rise to the occasion. We call on you to speak to the ancestors, to speak to God. And it's a great day tomorrow. It's a time to right our wrongs. It's a time to move forward. And we need everyone reading from the same script. Journalists, Mutembei TV, you give live stream to the most useless of meetings. Those ones attended by the president and everyone else. Why can't you give a live stream to this one where we are telling people the truth? You saw yesterday the Standard headline, literally saying that abductions should go on, will go on, because speaker after speaker at the funeral of Moses Wetangula's dad was encouraging William Ruto to continue. Speaker after speaker, they were emboldening him. But it's not they were emboldening him. They are not his advisors. Those are not their brains. They were told what to say because that is William Ruto's head. He was telling them and cherry-picking them. He was telling Waluke, because I know I have something on you. I know you have a court case. You have been jailed for, 100 years. You go speak. And he was at his mercy. He had to say what he said. Not because it is right, but for his own self-preservation. Amason Kingi went to shout at that same funeral because he knows with 120 billion that passed by through the Kilifi County coffers, where he was the governor, not a single penny went to a development project. He did not fix a road. He did not fix streetlights. He did not fix any hospital, not build a school. All that money he ate with prostitutes and commercial sex workers. So they had no choice but to regurgitate. Instead of telling the king that he's naked, they had no choice because they have been held back. Because if they speak otherwise, their cases will be resuscitated. So we cannot depend on them. We cannot wait for them to speak on our behalf. We have the voice. You have the platforms. We can change this shit. We can turn. We can alter the course of history for the country. We can chart a new destiny. You can step into a new light. It is possible. Tomorrow you can do it. Tomorrow you can do it, my friends. We call upon each and every Kenyan to exert your civic responsibilities and your duties. The people who are going to drive, I saw on Monday, December 30th, when we had the first protest, I saw police were commandeering people out of matatus, out of cars. We have told you, if you don't want to face that treatment, just stay at home. But you're going to come out, walk, leave your cars at home, walk in groups, confront all those roadblocks. Those roadblocks cannot subdue you. You go and get them. You have the mixologist who is going to make the cocktail. You have the stones. You have everything. You can only tackle when you're walking. But if you're driving in a public service vehicle, if you're moving goods on tomorrow, and then they stop you, and then they frisk you, and then they harass you, please don't blame us. Please also don't blame us when you open your store and then goons come. I told you Maina Jenga was on the front page of the Nation. They're telling you that those goons will come and vandalize and loot your business. Now, if you open tomorrow and then you ignore us, you ignore our clarion call to hit the streets, you ignore my message to saying that tomorrow is a holiday. If you elect to open your store, then good for you. Congratulations. Make your money. Make your paper, boo-boo. Who am I? Mimi ni nani? Gekereo, who am I? You have to rise to the occasion, my friends. You have to know that there comes a time when a nation is greater than an individual. That your little effort, your participation matters. You have been saying Ruto must go in every concert. You have been saying Ruto must go in every dunda. Now it's time to take it to the streets. Now it's time to extend that energy, to keep that same energy to the streets. I've told you, if you live on Outer Ring Road, if you live on Githurai and whatnot, leave your cars, get on groups. If you live in Kitengela, if you live in Rongai, move in groups. And then you encounter the police who are going to put roadblocks. If in your estates, if you don't want the police to come and kill you like they killed the people in Githurai and dump their bodies in Kware, what you do is you're going to put the stones on the road so that they don't get access to come with your cars. You have mixologists on the 5th floor and the 7th floor of your buildings just ready to hurl those things at those cars if they come to start harassing you, throwing tear gas in your homes. You're men, for Pete's sake. You're men. The women are rising up to go and pray for the departed souls, to go and pray for the abductees and their safe return. The men are so docile, just watching EPL, just chewing mera like cows. You become ruminants. Just drinking cheap liquor, which weakens you. You're just there. Tumekuwa ng'ombe, mnakula majani kila siku. Can't you set aside your addictions? Can you set them aside for a day or two? And say, hapa kuna shughuli, hii shughuli inahitaji mbogi. Tutokelezee. Tujitume. Little simple. A simple sacrifice is what is becoming a tall order for you. The women are ready. The men have become so pussified. The men have become so zombified. Will you just talk about his EPL? You're so mentally brainwashed. You're so mentally colonized that even you don't envisage a situation where we will be supporting our own football with good governance. We will be supporting our own teams. You're all about EPL so that you can bet. You win some coins over here, and then you go take Mira, and then you take Chrome or whatever cheap shit that you take. You become weak for a whole day because you have to shed off that hangover. The men, the boys, we understand that you are that way because it has been deliberate. It has been scripted by the system because they know you. Once you rise, once you realize your potential, you can bring down the regime. Now, the few who will see this message, the few who can rise to the occasion? Why don't you take up the mantle? Why don't you fill the vacuum that has been left by your fellow men whose work is just EPL, whose work is just watching porn and wanking in pipeline estates instead of turning up for the maandamano? Why can't you do that? The people of Kitengela, the people of Syokimau, why can't you come out? Don't be so for fear. And follow anyone trying to sell you fear. And follow. I told you there are these funny accounts which were registered between 2022 and 2024. They don't have a lot of followers, 200 and below. They are always active in the comment section. Block all of them. It's very tiring repeating this shit over and over again, because sometimes I'm convinced that you've heard, that you've listened, but when I go online, I see you still taking the bait. I still see Morara getting views. Why are you giving Morara views? Yesterday he was talking about Kithiki Kindure. What rubbish was that? I told you these guys, the last minute, they always come up with some shenanigans, distract you. That's what happens when we were saying Occupy State House. Oh, Osama Otero was faking that he's going to commit suicide. Oh, Boniface Mwangi started saying that he's faking suicide. You can Google all this shit. It's available. Hanifa starts bringing sideshows. So you think we can repeat the same shit over and over and expect different results? No. You have to unfollow these people intentionally. You have to start giving them clout and interactions. Aoko, you will see her tweets. There's nothing that Aoko has ever said Ruto must go or end abductions now. She just comes with long storylines which don't make sense. They're just meandering up and down. So why are you still reading that shit? Shouldn't you be preparing like the people of TikTok? They are serious. They are focused. They are mobilizing. They are sharing flyers. They are doing everything. Why are the people on X so subdued? We have to be intentional, my friends. We have to move with purpose. We have to move with conviction. This is our time. This is your time. It's been good. It's been good. It's been real. I am hoping we meet at the other side. We meet on the flip side. We hug each other. We march together. We get back to loving each other. And now being divided across every parameter that you can think of. We need to be united. There is no men or women. There is no tribe. There is no age. There is no social or economic class. All of these are man-made divisions meant to keep us in a constant state of conflict. Can we step into our light? Can we step into our real element? Can we be what we were purposed, what we were born to be? We were born to be great. All of us, everyone has something positive to give to this country. Everyone has something good to contribute to this country. We were not born to be condemned to be listening to these politicians talking garbage every other day. And you can see they have paid the media to take the most volatile, the most provocative clips and make them viral. For instance, in Oscar Sudi's meeting today, he had a lot to talk about, but the media specifically captured that because it was scripted. They need to keep us in a constant state of anxiety, in the edge, on the precipice of blowing our brains out. Because of what? Because they feed off negative energy, because they want to sell you fear, because they want to buy your compliance, and you don't have money to buy that. You don't have money to buy fear. So, can you avoid consuming government propaganda? Can you stay away deliberately and intentionally from it? That's the only way we are going to meet in the flip side. That's the only way we are going to meet on the other side of the river. Raila promised you Canaan. Then he went to sell you out. He is an aging orangutan and senile old bastard. He is a sellout. He is not what we should aspire to be as people, as a country. And so we are calling upon you to move with purpose, so that tomorrow and the days which are going to follow thereafter, we are going to smell our victory. We are going to achieve our objective. We are going to meet and say, yes, this sacrifice was worth it. To the business people, to the people who want to take your children to school, if you don't want to sacrifice, then do it knowing that the full risks that you're going to bear, the responsibility, you're not going to blame anyone. You're not supposed to huddle at the same place. You're supposed to engage the police in running battles. You're supposed to corner them. You're supposed to get them somewhere where you force them to kneel down and surrender and lay down their arms. You have the numbers. You can achieve that. You're not supposed to be, as media, just focusing on the commercial activists, on Boniface Mwangi, on Okia Mtata, on Hanifa Eden. You're not supposed to be focusing on them, on this idiot, this colossal clusterfuck called Morara Kebaso. I repeat that Morara Kebaso has been the biggest undoing of our movement. Disgusting little prick called Morara Kebaso. So tomorrow, the men, you are going to protect the women wherever they are. Against police action, against goons. If you see women somewhere sitting and praying, or kneeling and praying, you're going to go and protect them. That was your work from the historical times. That's what you're going to do. The others, you're going to be engaging the police in your estates, in downtown Nairobi, in wherever. Because we cannot continue like this, man. We cannot. A whole member of parliament who is related to the president saying that if you would have appointed me as a CS, I would have killed all critics of the president, and he's saying it with his own mouth, and you're supposed to accept that as your way of life. This is your future. This is how you're going to live. These guys are planning to leave office. It is possible for you to be in this state of oppression for 10 and 20 years because these guys want to ruin all semblance of democracy. You should not accept it. You should not tolerate it. You should not even share it from the context that he said something funny. I had people laughing in the background and I'm thinking, are you fucked ahead? Is that something funny? It could be your own child. And laughing at Oscar Sudi's threat to kill your children. How sick have we become as a society? How sick, how fucked up have the older generation become? Because those were old people who are laughing at his stale jokes. It's not young people. No young person can derive any comedy from such a speech. Old people, what's your problem? You can laugh. You can seriously and literally laugh at Oscar Sudi's statement that if he was the CS of internal security, he would have killed all critics of Ruto. Are you serious? And you laugh. None of you would even stand up. None of you has the guts to say, I disassociate myself with such comments. I cannot be associated with such comments. None of you can do it. Then we are living in the days. Moral malaise. People, your moral compass has been broken. It lacked even one person to stand up and say that no. What Oscar Sudi has said, no. I do not identify with it as a member of parliament, or as a senator, or as a leader in Kenya, or as a religious. It just missed one person to say. Because we have slowly been desensitized. We have slowly come to accept this as our way of life. Now, the few patriots who have said enough is enough. Tomorrow is your day to show and to take back this country from the hands of the devil. Tomorrow is the day when we bring back this country back to it has been derailed. Back to the rail track, to the path of economic prosperity, the path of constitutionalism, to the path of freedom and human rights. Tomorrow is the day. Kesho ndio ile siku. Kesho ndio ile siku mtarauka. Kesho msitishwe, msibabaishwe na huyu musenge anaitwa Ruto. Viva patriots, viva comrades. We look forward to a great and gracious week where after we achieve our Our objectives, we are going to celebrate, we are going to laugh, we are going to hug, we are going to cry, and then we are going to give a decent send-off to everyone who has been murdered by William Ruto. Thank you very much. Good night. Get ready for a new beginning.